Hey Sagittarius, welcome to your love reading for March 16th through the 31st. I hope that you guys are doing great. Grab your sips and let's get right into it. So, as I was meditating on your energy and doing your pre-shuffle, I got a couple of messages that came through for you. The first one was, "That's a damn shame." And the second one that came out is "Stuck on You." So we'll see how those fit in. But I started by pulling a couple of oracle cards just to get a sense of the overall energy surrounding this reading for you guys. The first one that came out is Irene, peace. There is no need to worry as everything is working out beautifully. And the second card that came out for you is full moon in Leo. Don't let pride get in your way. And it's interesting because I'm fairly certain that one of the other fire signs got that card too. I think it was Leo. But we'll see what that means and how that fits into your reading. But first we'll start off by pulling some tarot, looking at your current energy, the energy that's surrounding you, any challenges, obstacles, and what might be hidden from you, advice from spirit, and then your potential outcome. So looking at your current energy, for my Sagittarius collective, we have the Eight of Inspiration. For the energy that's currently around you, we have the Six of Inspiration and the Queen of Inspiration in reverse. For challenges, obstacles, and what's currently hidden from you, we have the Fool. Advice from Spirit, we have one that flipped over, and it's the Knight of Inspiration. And for your potential outcome, let's see what we have. We have the Page of Voices. So let's grab another tarot deck and see if we can clarify these cards a little bit more for you, starting again with your current energy. Current energy for Sagittarius. Okay, we have two that came out. We have the Eight of Swords with the Ace of Swords. For the energy that's currently surrounding you, we have the Two of Cups in reverse. For challenges, obstacles, and what might currently be hidden, wow, we have a few. We have the King of Cups in reverse. We have the Moon in reverse. And we also have the Page of Swords. For advice from Spirit, okay, we have one that flipped over. We have the Lovers. And for the potential outcome, okay, we have one that came out, and we have the Knight of Pentacles. So we'll grab an oracle deck and get any final messages before we get into the reading. So for your current energy, we have Mask. For the energy that's currently surrounding you, oh, thought we had one that flipped. Now we have two. We have Photograph and we have Axe. For challenges, obstacles, and what might currently be hidden for you, we have Clock. Advice from Spirit. I think we had one that flipped. We have Self-Indulgence. And for your potential outcome from a Sagittarius, we have Karmic Relationship. Okay, so let's get into this, Sagittarius. It's feeling like, and with the oracle cards that came out and also the messages, I'm getting sort of two sides of this story. It almost feels like one of each of the messages are for you and the other messages for your person. So I almost feel like for you, you're trying to find a place of peace, and you're kind of shaking your head saying, well, that's a damn shame. Like, because it feels like something didn't quite work out, or that something is super frustrating for you right now, and you were trying to get your footing. So whether this is a situation with somebody that hasn't, that, sort of started moving along and then came to a halt, or if it never quite got off the ground, you're just kind of like, Seriously? Ain't that a shame? For the other person's part, it almost still feels like they're they have some pride that got in the way of you two. Um, and they seem to be a little bit stuck. Maybe they still have some memories of you. They're still, the thought of you lingers, and maybe they have a certain amount of regret for the way that they acted. But we'll see. It's just interesting how I'm getting these two very distinct perspectives and feelings coming through. So, looking at your current energy, we have the Eight of Inspiration, which is the Eight of Wands in traditional tarot. We have the Eight of Swords. We have the Ace of Swords. And we also have Mask. Not showing true feelings, hide, personify, pretend, delude, gaslighting. So it feels to me like there was something stuck. There was some communication or forward movement that just did not go. And I think you were hoping for this conversation, for this interaction, for this clarity in figuring out what was going on and maybe how to move forward. And that didn't happen. And so now it's almost like you have your game face on, where it's like, yeah, this bothers me, but I'm not going to show it. I'm going to figure this out by myself. I'm going to find my happy place, and I'm just going to leave it alone. But there's still that sort of lingering thought that maybe you'll have this conversation with this person, and maybe you're even thinking about moving towards them in some way, shape, or form. But I also feel like that's a pretty fleeting thought. Like, that's not something that you seem to be wedded to right now. For the energy that's surrounding you, we have the Six of Inspiration, or the Six of Wands. We have the Queen of Inspiration in reverse. We have the Two of Cups in reverse. And we have two oracle cards. The first one is photograph. Looking at your photos, missing you, nostalgia, make new memories. And the second card that came out is axe. Breakup, separation, stop the pattern, silent treatment, abandonment. So it kind of feels as though your person is looking for a victory that they cannot have, or that they haven't achieved. It seems as though they want this love, but you two are not together, and they kind of miss you. They're stuck on you. They keep thinking about you, even though you all are not together. And I don't know what happened in this scenario, but it feels like they did something. They messed up. And even though they're feeling this energy of, I don't have this, the fire's gone, the magic's gone, Sagittarius is done with me, it doesn't seem as though they're reaching out. Like it's almost like they don't want to acknowledge that they made an oopsie, and a rather big oopsie that has caused you to sort of dial back your communication and pretend like it doesn't matter to you. Because I feel like they're in a place of thinking that you are absolutely unbothered by this, but I don't think that that's the case here either. Looking at the obstacles, challenges, and what might currently be hidden, we have the Fool, we have the King of Cups in reverse, we have the Moon in reverse, we have the Page of Swords, and we also have Clock. Need time, takes time, in time, cycles, time to heal, and progress. So what I'm getting from these cards is that the obstacle is that nobody's moving. Nobody's taking a leap of faith. Nobody's offering up their cup. They're not expressing their emotions. There's still things that I think are unclear to you all on both sides, and there's no progress being made. But it feels as though the longer that this sort of stretches out, the longer that you all are not communicating or not getting sort of on the same page, it feels like time is ticking. It feels like time is running out. But what you don't see is that I think that this break, this departure was necessary for you all to be able to kind of sit and really evaluate your feelings for one another so that you can come back together and have that conversation and have that clarity and that open, honest communication. But right now, the problem is nobody's taking that step. So, what we have for you for the advice from Spirit, we have the Knight of Inspiration or the Knight of Wands. We have the Lovers, and we also have self-indulgence. Focus on self, self-worth, time to heal, shadow work, and self-appreciation. So, what I'm feeling for this, for my Sagittarius right now, is that you need to just focus on you. Focus on taking care of yourself, reigniting that spark within, loving on yourself, and finding that peace that you're looking for, and not necessarily sitting around waiting for this person to communicate or apologize or whatever the situation may be. Now is not the time to worry about them. It's the time now to focus on you and making you feel good, because it doesn't seem as though this person did that for you. Looking at your potential outcome, we have the Page of Voices, which is the Page of Swords in traditional tarot. We have the Knight of Pentacles, and we also have karmic relationship, fleeting, triggers, turmoil, resentment, lessons, letting go, and loving you. So here's the good news, bad news about this one, Sagittarius. Whoever this is, they're coming back. They're taking their sweet time. They are absolutely taking their sweet time. The Knight of Pentacles is the slowest moving knight in the deck. And with the Page of Voices, there's going to be a little communication. I don't think that when this person comes back, it's going to be some sort of explosive 3-hour conversation where they're pouring their heart out to you and expressing how they feel and their childhood trauma and this, that, and the fifth. I think it's going to be, hey, big head, or, just this teeny tiny little piece of communication. But they're watching you. They're keeping an eye on you. So if you have social media or you have mutual friends, they're kind of checking up on you, like as they're doing all of this reminiscing and whatnot. It's like, oh, I wonder what Sagittarius is up to. Let me check her Instagram. Let me check Facebook. Let me check Twitter. Let me see when the last time they were on according to WhatsApp. So you're not very far from their mind, but they are moseying back in. In the meanwhile, what you've done is kind of let go, right? You've started the process of letting go, and you started that by focusing on you and taking your attention away from this person, pulling your energy back. So as they feel that, they're going to feel more compelled to come in. And at that point, it's up to you to decide whether or not you've gotten whatever lesson you've needed from this relationship, from this experience, and see if you want to give it another go, sort of being more equipped and better informed this time around. That choice is entirely up to you. I don't necessarily see this being a forever proposition, because I don't see anything in here about them healing or doing their own inner work like you've been. So it's up to you to see how this plays out. But in the meanwhile, in this relationship, Focus on you and they'll be back around if that's what you want. Up to you to let them back in or not. So let's grab one last oracle card and see if there are any final messages from Spirit for you. Okay. And the card that we have that flipped out for you is Vision. No matter what, you see the bigger picture of a loving and just universe. So again, Sagittarius, in spite of everything that's going on, I think that you understand that the most important thing in any scenario is to make sure that you take care of you, to make sure that you have your peace. And if that means faking it till you make it, that's okay too. You don't have to show your face to everyone, especially if it's somebody that's hurt you. Do what you need to protect yourself, to heal yourself, to take care of yourself. Let that person figure out what it is that they have going on, and then you can decide when they come back around. So I'll leave it there. I hope that this was helpful for you. I hope that this resonated somehow. If it did, make sure to like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss out on any future readings. In the meanwhile, stay safe, stay healthy, and I am sending you all huge hugs.